People who left their spouses for the person you cheated with. How did things end up? Nearing his death, my dad said he regretted leaving his first wife. My mom was his mistress. Yikes. Yikes indeed. Damn. Not me, but my dad cheated on my mom. Decided that he didn't like the new women and how she treated her kids. Went back to mom. Mom got cancer and died pretty quickly. No life insurance, so dad got back with mistress and merged our families. 3 kids plus 2 of hers. Out of necessity, years of mental abuse from stepmom to only her non-blood children. But dad worked so much he never saw it. After a vacation together, saw how bad she treated us and got divorced. Brother was so tortured from bullying and low self-esteem he killed himself. Sister and I need therapy. I'm so sorry. I really hope you and your sibling find peace. You deserve it. My father did this when I was 14. Left my mom out of nowhere for a younger woman he had been cheating with for a year. Gave her the world. The whole time she had a boyfriend her age that was in on the plan to take everything from my dad. After a few years, my dad was left with absolutely nothing, while she had quietly set up her life with her boyfriend in a different country. You think he learned his lesson? Nope, happened 3 more times. His current one is in her early 20s, while he is in his late 70s. His current one is in her early 20s, while he is in his late 70s. Your dad must be rich as F lol. My ex cheated on me with my best friend. They're married now and seem pretty happy /view 200d. I wish them the worst. I too wish them the worst. Well, let's just say I now have 2 ex-spouses to avoid at family reunions. Why the F are you running into ex-spouses at family reunions? Cue incest jokes. The real reason, some divorces are amicable enough to have both parents present for holidays and birthdays. The ex is invited for the benefit of the children. My mom did this. Then her new husband cheated on her, like he did with his first wife. Now she's on to husband 3. Cheaters cheat on cheaters. It's their circle of life. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised when it came crashing down tbh. My ex-husband cheated on me and left me for her. By all accounts, they were happy for a short time. A very short time. Once the excitement of cheating wore away, they were left with nothing but each other. My ex-husband ended up alone and miserable because the woman he left me for cheated on him repeatedly. Same. And then the moment he wanted to move in with her, she started seeing another of their married coworkers. Once he realized he had tossed his family away and moved 1600 miles to be with someone who wasn't that serious about it all, he wanted to come back. I could never. Been divorced now for 8 years and honestly, I never realized how unhappy I was being married to him. Doing all the household management, all the emotional labor, and being the breadwinner. My life is so much less complicated, and I'm raising the kids all by myself. It's less work. I didn't leave for the person I cheated with. I cheated, eventually came clean, and the relationship naturally ended. And then after 5 years of no contact, I tried to make it work with the person I cheated with. It didn't work and was a nightmare relationship. I have grown a lot since then, but will always feel guilty for everyone I hurt with my decisions. Finally, an honest answer instead of, so my friend or my dad. My husband's dad left his mom for his affair partner. It's been 38 years that they've been together now. Is he happy? No idea. Husband and his brothers haven't spoken to their dad in decades. My sister and her husband cheated together. They are still together over 20 years later. It hasn't been smooth sailing, but it has worked. First wife here who was cheated on. She cheated on him, and now he has a second ex-wife. I'm still friends with my ex-husband, and have heard that the relationship was pretty toxic after they got married. Like she changed completely once she had the ring. What made you stay friends? Despite it all, he's a wonderful, funny, and caring person. I liked him all those years. Looking back, we have made better friends than spouses. Plus, we have kids, and I didn't want to be one of those contentious, divorced parents. I wanted our kids to know that 2 people can divorce and still be adults who co-parent with no conflict. Trying to model that a relationship may fail, and that is okay. Not my story, but someone who was close to me had some kind of a midlife crisis and cheated on his wife of 30 years with a woman who was nearly half his age. Basically lived a double life for a couple years before telling his family about it. He moved in with his mistress. She had enough of him after just a week, packed his things, and kicked him out. Then he tried everything to come back to his family, begged, threatened, showed up every day with any kind of excuse he could find. But nothing worked. He was struggling to find a place to live for a while, lived in hotels, on his ex-mistress's couch. Finally found a house share with a bunch of people in their 20s. Really sad because his marriage used to be one of those things that me and his children idolized. But he deserves it. Edit. Grandma. My Sil's husband has always been a dick. They have 2 preteen kids together and he cheated with a woman 20 IDK years older than him. She left him and now I don't know where he lives, what he's doing. He dropped his kids, my nephews, off at my place the other day and it was the first time I'd even laid eyes on him in over a year. Literally did a drive-by, didn't even have the guts to wave or make eye contact. My ex cheated on me twice. Twice I forgave her and continued to live under her and do whatever she required of me. Then I met a girl who treated me like I'd never been treated before, who fell in love with me and me with her. But we decided not to proceed because I did love my ex and we had been together 9 years, our whole adult lives. In the end my ex got me for a 3rd time, and this time she emptied the house, left the dogs, and left me to move city with the man she met 2 weeks prior, who was there to pick up the pieces of me, the sweet girl I met, and she gave me nothing but support and even helped me move house. We sparked our relationship again, and it felt like forever this time. She stayed. Sounds to me like the trash took itself out. My dad cheated on his wife with the woman who would become my mom. They had me and my brother. Now after 30 years my mom left my dad. He says it was karma for cheating on his previous wife. Karma played the long game. My father-in-law has done it 6 times. Had children with 3 of them. He is super charismatic. The kind of guy that lights up a room. But sucks at being a dad and grandfather. Sounds like my dad. My ex cheated on me and left me for some guy who kept pressuring her until she caved. I thought we were the happiest couple ever until that point. It's been 8 years since that happened. They've been together ever since. Now engaged. For me, I've never had another serious relationship and haven't so much as held someone's hand in a very, very long time. So I guess karma was looking the other way. My ex cheated on me for about 6 months leading up to our wedding. Luckily I guess she told me and we broke up a month before the wedding. That was 5 years ago and they are still together. Though by the sounds of it are totally insufferable to be around. As told to me by her ex-best friend. It's disappointing that karma didn't get to her like other stories here. But the best revenge is a life well lived and I'm in a way better place with a way better person now. My first husband fell in love with a friend from university. He would go around complaining to parents and friends how unfair life has treated him and how he is suffering. Divorce wasn't an option for him as a devout Catholic. After about a year I found proof of his emotional affair and I left him. Turns out she wasn't ever interested in being more than friends with him. As far as I know he's been single ever since. It's been 6 years. I met the love of my life just over a year ago and I'm pregnant with our first child. My ex cheated on me. We were married for 16 years. Unfortunately for me he stayed and spent that time berating me for everything I did and said. I tried to work it out with him for about a year because we had a 4-year-old son. Found out he wouldn't give her up, so I kicked him out. I did find out their relationship ended after a couple of months. He went through a string of girlfriends and got married again, which ended in divorce after a couple of years. I have never done that, but I had a friend or more like an acquaintance who did that. Now the guy has like 3 kids with 3 different women, and I can't really respect the guy anymore. Let's just say that the guy doesn't seem very happy and is in massive debt. My father did this. Happily married after about 17 years. My maternal grandfather did this too. He was married with a woman he cheated on my grandma with until he passed. I don't know how happy he was though. I never met his other wife and I never met the 2 daughters he had with her. My mom never liked the new wife. And even though my mom was always cordial with her 2 half-sisters, who are 20-ish years younger than my mom, after my grandpa passed she gave up whatever little contact with them. It's definitely weird to know she has 2 half-sisters I've never met. But the way it all went down was very painful for her, so I respect her choices. A fake they don't contact my mom either. My gran came over to America at 16 and immediately fell into a marriage with a Navy guy and had 4 kids. She ended up meeting a guy at the weekly Irish dances. My dad found the letters and went NC for 5 years. They got a divorce and she married the Irish dance guy. He was absolutely the love of her life, but ended up passing away in 1996. My dad ended up reconnecting with his mom after breaking his legs in a ski accident, and she nursed him back to health. His dad remarried, but the new wife wanted nothing to do with his family. 30+ years later she's the grandparent we actually have a relationship with, even though she was the one who cheated. Wild how these things turn out. My ex cheated on me after 11 years. He's married to the woman he cheated with, and they have 4 kids. It's been almost 12 years since we split. I honestly think he did me a favor. I wasn't happy either. I don't want children, and I'm way better off now than I ever was with him. My ex-husband of 28 years left me for a coworker. It's been 4 years and they are still together, but he's not happy. Not necessarily due to her, but because he's just one of those moody men. And to make matters worse, 1 kid won't talk to him, and the other 2 just tolerate him. Oh, and I got a fair settlement in the divorce and his mistress quit her job right after she moved in with her son. I'm NC, but I've heard he's aged 10 years and drinks a lot. Oh well, your kids are right to hate/dislike him. Technically, my ex begged me to open our relationship. I eventually caved. He thought it'd be so hot if I dated a girl. I did. Ended up liking her more, since she didn't pressure me to do things I didn't want to. He eventually got fed up with me spending time with her and asked me to choose. I didn't pick him. We've been together for 8 years and getting married in the spring. My ex did this with my friend. Got married and got the 7-year itch again, and is on to husband number 3 in 14 years. Was entertaining to hear. I hope you are doing well. My paternal grandfather is a real garbage person who constantly cheated on and beat my grandmother. Grandma met a married man at work and they ran off together. They only had a few years together before she passed from brain cancer, but he took care of her till the end. Not me, but my dad divorced my mom for the woman he cheated on her with. When he left, he basically treated it like a blank slate and left all the work of parenting me and my 2 siblings to my mom. He continually cheated on both of them with each other and eventually left the second wife with 2 kids to remarry my mom. They are too old to start over now, but it doesn't seem like anyone in the situation is doing well. I don't talk to him anymore, but my siblings say he's not really a happy person since he's burned so many bridges and doesn't feel like anybody genuinely cares about him. I don't really know what he expected. My ex cheated on me with the friend you shouldn't worry about, and they've been together for 10 years and have a child together. Guess they were meant to be, but I wish it was not at the expense of my feelings. I was heartbroken and took me years to recover. My ex-fiancé cheated on me with his now wife for about 9 months before he finally finished it with me. He met her on the internet. They're now married and have a kid. I'm very happy in my life. I look back and think me and my ex splitting up was the right thing to do. Handled the completely wrong way. Having said all that, he ended up meeting another woman on the internet and cheated on his now wife. She left him for a while, and I was pleased that the universe sent shitty karma to them both. My ex-husband cheated on me with a long-term mistress who was also married, but he cheated with women from sex websites too. Long-term mistress ended her marriage for him, and he ended ours and married her immediately after our divorce. He's already cheated on her